Hey everyone, I am going to showcase some cards for you so that you hopefully get your creative juices going in this month of August. And I wanted to play with some things. Maybe we've played with them a little bit, maybe we haven't, but I wanted you to check out these cards. So let's get to creating. So the first card we're going to play with is with shortbread, and shortbread is one of those colors that we forget about. It's another nice creamy neutral, and I wanted to play with the Cozy Up paper again. So I've kind of done a lot of the prep work already, but so this is a 1/4 inch by 5, and I believe, if my memory serves me right, yeah, this one is 1 3/4 by 5. So they're these are 5, and then this piece is a 2 by 5. Now this centerpiece, can you see that I did mount it on the lighter side of shortbread? This is the dark side. So you can see that it's a nice creamy, and let me put it up to this and you can see how it brightens everything up. And so let's go ahead and attach that as soon as I find my tape. Oh, there it is. And it's a standard card, 5.5 by 4 1/4, and just pressing it down. And this one almost needs a little bit more. I'm just going to press it down just a little bit there so it has a little bit more oomph to it. How about that? Okay, just like that. So there's our card, and I thought this was just a fun little autumn card, nothing fancy, just pretty simple. Then I have a piece of the Scarlet from the Cozy Up, which is 1.5 by 4 1/4. So 1.5 by 4 1/4. Then I have a 2 by 2 and a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. This, there you can really see the darker side against the mocha. Lighter side, lighter side. But we're going to use the light side. So before we do that, let's do some stamping. So I am going to grab the stamp set that came with the Cape Cod card making, and I really like this little abstract piece, and even though I know I've used it a few times, it's about the same no matter what size. Okay, let's bring in some of that trying to decide the paprika color with this. So we're going to use the paprika. And I am going to test it on here just to make sure I want it that dark. Yeah, I do. And I'm just doing a portion, nothing, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Just to give it a nice little, my saying that I'm going to put on it is not going to cover the whole thing. So it just gives me another little option to do the fill in on that saying. So let me put that back on there, and then let me grab from this Cozy Up card making. I just think this is a great stamp set. I love that it comes with thin cuts. Sorry, I didn't check. I think this one is still available, but I like these big fonts, and we're actually going to use that hello today. So I'm just carefully rolling it off my carrier sheet. And yes, I put mine on triangly, but even though it's straight, just me. And because I know I haven't used the hello, I'm just rubbing it on my skin. And then I am going to use Mocha ink. And I'm just going to test it on my scratch. Yep. I can already see I need a foam. Don't like the way that was acting on there. So we're just going to come down a little bit on it. And just like that. See, isn't that a nice crisp look to that? And I thought it just kind of was appropriate with the reading and the glasses, and you know, it doesn't have to always be a birthday sentiment. So let's go ahead and oops, wrong tape. Attach this to our mocha. And I only did 1/8 of an inch on this mocha piece because I didn't need any more bulk, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece of scarlet. Oops. And yes, this is going to actually go to the edge of the card. And then I'm actually going to put this on a little bit of foam tape. And those are my thicker pieces. Let's see if I have any thin foam tape. Should have checked that before I started. Sorry about that, ladies. Nope. I'm down to just that thickness. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to use my dots. Do I have enough on here? Yep, I do. I know these are retiring out if they haven't already been gone. Some of the items are coming back, but they're slow to come back. So we're just going to put these just like that. And then let's get some gold gems. Got a package here. Just kind of keep with that fall theme. Yeah. Take my micro tip scissors, my non-stick ones. And just add a little fun. So just like that, we have a card. Pretty exciting, right? I hope you think it's pretty exciting. Okay, So there's our first card. Nice little fall everyday card, ready to go. So let's do, let's keep on that theme and do one using the Cape Cod. And I wanted to use things that were, you know, left pieces that you might have had scraps after you created layout and all of that. Excuse me. Sorry, just a moment here. So this is a piece of Lagoon, and it is well, it should be 4 by 5 1/4, but it needs to be sized up a little bit. Much better. So we're actually going to use, again, the lighter side. And I have 3 pieces from the Cape Cod. So the first one is 2.5 by 3 3/4. Then we have 1 3/4 by 2.5. And this should be 1 3/4 by 2.5. So easy peasy there. So let's go ahead. If you work fast, you can lift this back up with not too much damage to your paper. I love that our paper's two-sided. It gives you so many more options to choose your paper and what's going to work for what you're doing. So that piece, and then one more piece. This still needs to be moved over a little bit. Eyes aren't working as well today. I want some of a gap there. Not much, but a little bit of gap. So you have it looking like that. And then I decided that I really liked this going across. So I'm just going to put some tape down. Make sure my card is in here square. And I'm going to go to the edge, and then just trim off the excess, just like that. And it's going to go on my card base like this, so let's go ahead and anchor it down. So just like that. And then because I'm trying to use up some stuff that I had that's left over that I didn't use on my other projects, I went ahead and took this Welcome to the Beach sticker and put it on a piece of shortbread, and because I thought that was just a really nice sandy looking color. And so again, I'm just going to add some foam tape to it. And I'm using up my last of my dots here. You use the small ones, you just have more area to cover. But you can put as many as you want or as little as you want, depending on what you want to do. I always try to put a couple in the middle, just so and then I usually put it on here to make sure it's not lumpy, which it isn't. And then I'm just going to carefully peel off the little protective back to these so that they can stick on our card and make it work, right? That's what it's all about, having fun, creating. I hope you've enjoyed all the papers this month. There have been some fun ones to play with, Cozy Up and Cape Cod and the mix-ins. So I'm just gonna kind of try to put that in the middle. And then again, to carry the theme of using the Cape Cod, had these darling little die cuts that are out of chipboard. Some came in white and some came in the craft. And I thought rather than embellishments, these would make nice little accent pieces to the card. And so I'm just going to just kind of tuck them in so they have some kind of look to them. Kind of carry in that theme a little bit. And then one last little starfish. I thought the starfish was really cute. And let's just carry that up there. And voila, look at that. A little fun card to give to someone. Maybe they're coming to visit you here at the beach, or maybe they just love the beach and miss the beach. Just a nice, fun little card. I think it adds, you get to use your scraps up and you get to create and have some fun. Okay, so that's the second card. So our last card this evening is, I'm going to use the Cozy Up card making the card making kit, and this is one of the patterns in there. So this one is 3 3/4 by 5. So there is your, whatever your base page is going to be, 3 3/4 by 5. You need 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. You need 2 of those, so you have to have 2 of those. And then you need 2 1/4-inch strips. This is rosemary, and they're 4 1/4. And then 2 honey butter. Okay? And then we'll get to the rest of the pieces here in a moment. So I'm going to take my mocha pieces here, and hopefully I can, trying to decide which, oh, that's too big. I'm going to take my white gel pen, and I'm just going to draw some stitch lines, and it doesn't need to be perfect, okay? And I find it's easier for me to work towards me than away from me, if that makes sense. So I'm coming towards me rather than work up this way, because then my hand's in the way, or my hand has a tendency to get into the project. So can you see that? They're not perfect, but they're lots of fun, and they add that extra punch of detail to your card. Okay, so let's get a card. And let's adhere this down. And it's just gonna center in the middle. And for you that don't like all the white, hang tough, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I have a piece of white daisy, which is 1.5 by 4 1/4, and I've already stamped the happy birthday. And the happy birthday came out of this stamp set in Thin Cuts. For like this one right here, the Cozy Up card making. So you can see the happy birthdays right there. And I just stamped it on in the center. And I am going to go ahead and, oops, yes, I'm going to go ahead and put that on my card. Make sure that's right. Okay. And then I'm going to take those pieces that I did the stitch mark on, and they're going to sit on top of these. So just like that. And that's a good way to not have to use a full sheet and waste your pattern paper. That makes sense. So like that. And then we're going to put a green here. Kind of cover that seam, which is nice. Gives it a transition. And do the same thing here. I'm just running my tape runner on my all-purpose mat. That way it sticks to my all-purpose mat and not to my projects. Oops, that one didn't get put down right. Let's get this again. Too big. Looks like I need to do a little trim here. Usually I do it on my guillotine, but I'm right here. I'm not going to step over there. Yeah, that's better. Maybe I should have done it on the guillotine. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to put the yellow right on top. And it's not yellow, it's honey butter. So it's just an even little smaller look to the rosemary. And let's see if I like it up here. I think it's a little too much, so I think I'm only going to use one. I am going to see if this is, yep. I'm going to grab some sage ink, and I have a sponge dauber. Yeah, I like that. And I'm just tapping it off, and I'm going to rub it over. And so I took quite a bit, and on my scratch piece of paper here, and just give me a little dusting of color without a big boom when you get a heavy-handed little finger going. Okay? Yes, I'm liking that. All right. So then I had stamped these up already, and I stamped them on honey butter. And I'm going to move them up because I want to add some color to these. And I think I'm thinking paprika might be a little too dark, but let me see what. Let me grab one of my old sponge daubers here. Yeah, I'm not thinking I'm wanting papaya. I think papaya is a little too pink for what I'm going. So I'm going to go back to paprika. And let me grab another one of my sponges. Yeah, okay, that's gonna work. So what I'm gonna do, gonna tap it up here, and then I'm gonna rub color on the edges, especially when it's a dark. I'm gonna stay on the edge. Does that make sense? So you have that kind of look going, okay? And you can come in more. Just don't apply any more ink to it, so you can see the contrast there, okay? And then I'm going to come in with the sage. Now this does have rosemary, but I think the rosemary will be a little too dark for what I'm going for. And again, I'm just kind of staying on the edge. So you kind of have that multi-look going. It's kind of cool. And again, it's going to kind of depend on how heavy-handed you are. If you get really inky, that's okay. The look's going to work. So see, that's a really cool look. Okay. So let's do that to these. So let's make this one more green. So we're going to add more sage to it. Let me show you what it looks like. So against that yellow, it looks pretty, almost limey. But when you start adding the paprika to it, it tones it down a whole lot. I really like that look. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So let's do this one. And then add the sage. Did you see what I did? Oh, biscuits. I got my sage in with my paprika. Happens to the best of us, right? Let's close that up and I won't do that again. Let's try it again. Well, this one's going to be not as green as I want, but we'll get there. We'll put it in the middle. Looks like it's been tramped on a little bit. We'll see how it looks when I get it on there. Sometimes that happens to all of us, right? We all have that. What was I thinking? Okay, I'm going to dump those off so they can just sit there for a minute. And then I cut out, because that is part of those thin cuts. This stamp and thin cut set is this To Die For circle. And it is in toffee. And I have found that my glue is the best way to tack this. It's not my glue, but it's the glue I use, so it is my glue. And I like it because if it's not quite where you want it, you can move it around a little bit if you're fast. You can't do it once it's on there. That makes sense. Okay, so just like that. And then I am going to add, so let's do this, and let's just, I think I am just going to put them flat because that is a little bit, you have some layers there going raised, and I'm going to put adhesive on this one, but I'm not ready to put it down because I'm going to tuck this in like that so that I can get that, and then I'm going to squeeze this up in there like that. Voila! Now I already see, I'm going to get my little spatula, and I didn't quite put this where I needed. This is where it gets tricky because I have different layers on there. And so I'm just going to make it round, come around a little bit more. Okay? Now you definitely could add another leaf if you wanted to. It's strictly up to you. I am going to grab one of these fun arrows. I think I kind of like this one. They're a die cut also. They're a die cut. And I'm gonna take my little page here and I'm gonna grab another little sponge. And I'm softly gonna go over it. Just as you can see, I'm just darkening up, kind of giving it almost a weathered patina. Nothing fancy, just a little daub here, a little daub there, and you got it. I did see it doesn't look like that came out of there too well. Ooh, I don't know what happened. Happens to all of us, right? Okay, so I think I'm going to put that right there. And I am going to anchor this with a glue dot. Not that one, those are the big ones. These the little ones. Yep. So what do you think? Liking that? I'm thinking, let me see what I've got. I think it needs a little punch of something, and I'm trying to decide what is the best look for it. And you know what? I don't want it to be so showy, but let's just take some bitty sparkles. And just kind of give it a little shimmer. Nothing over the top, but just enough to say, hey, I'm here, look at me. And then let's draw your eye up here. Oh yeah, see, that's what it needed. Didn't have enough bling on it for me, right? There we go. Nice little pop. And I'm gonna go back to the beach and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add some of these so they look, you know what I mean, I like to tuck some in. So it looks like a little glistening of water on the beach ones. Come on, don't stick to the gun, to the pencil. All right, that one didn't work. Try it again. There we go. There we go. I think I'm gonna put a couple, because these are so little. If I can get it, there we go. But I want it up here closer. Yeah, I think and that's the way to go. So let me grab the other card so you can see all of the fun we created. And hopefully this gets you inspired and gives you some ideas to use with your little pieces that you have left over. If not, you can always go out to the website and check out what is out there. All right, ladies, bye now.